What if I told you that you're not just alive right now, but you're also simultaneously dying, being born, celebrating your 10th birthday, and experiencing every moment of your life all at once? What if your death has already happened, is happening right now, and will happen in the future, all at the same time? And what if I could prove to you that this isn't metaphysical speculation, but the logical consequence of relativity, confirmed by every experiment we've ever done on the nature of space and time? Stay with me, because what I'm about to explain will shatter your entire understanding of existence. You think you're a person moving through time, experiencing one moment after another. But according to physics, you're actually a four-dimensional object that exists completely, all at once, stretched from birth to death like a sculpture in space-time. You're not becoming, you already are. Everything you've ever been and ever will be exists right now. And that means you're simultaneously alive and dead, young and old, here and gone, all of it real, all of it permanent, all of it existing in the eternal structure called the block universe. My name is Albert Einstein, and the block universe is the most radical implication of my theories, more radical than time dilation, more disturbing than the relativity of simultaneity, more profound than anything I discovered about gravity or energy or the speed of light. Because the block universe changes what it means to exist, what it means to be alive, what it means to be you. In the block universe, time is not a river flowing from past to future. Time is a landscape, a geography, and you are not a traveler moving through that landscape. You are part of the landscape itself, a permanent feature, a four-dimensional structure extending from your birth to your death. Every moment of your life exists simultaneously, not in the sense of happening at the same time, because the same time is meaningless in this context, but in the sense of all being equally real, equally present in the structure of space-time. You at age 5 exists, you at age 50 exists, you on your deathbed exists, all of them, right now. Not right now in your subjective frame, but in the objective structure of reality. They're all there, all equally real. And this means you're not just alive, you're also dead, simultaneously, because both states exist in the block universe. Both are part of your four-dimensional structure. And today I'm going to explain exactly why this must be true, why the physics demands it, and what it means for how you should understand your own existence.
Let me start with the foundation. The block universe follows logically from the relativity of simultaneity. We've established this already, but I need to review it because everything else depends on it. Different observers moving at different speeds have different definitions of now. What's happening now for you is not what's happening now for someone moving at high speed relative to you. This is not opinion. This is experimentally verified fact. And if different observers have different nows, then now is not an objective feature of reality. It's observer-dependent, relative. And this means that all moments must exist, because if your now includes events that are in my past or my future, and if your now is real, then my past and future must be real, must exist, must be part of the structure of reality. There's no way around this logic. If simultaneity is relative, if different observers have different presence, then all of time must exist, must be laid out, complete. This is the block universe, space-time as a four-dimensional block containing all events, all moments, all of time, past, present, and future, all of it equally real, all of it equally existent, all of it permanent. Now here's where it gets personal, where it touches your life. If all moments exist, then you are not just the person experiencing this present moment, you are the complete structure. Your entire life from birth to death, all of it exists, right now, in space-time. Think of yourself as a long, worm-like structure stretching through time. At one end, your birth, at the other end, your death, and in between, every moment you've ever lived or will ever live. This entire structure exists. It's called your world line, and it's what you really are. Not a three-dimensional body existing only in the present, but a four-dimensional entity extended through time. And every point on that world line is real. The you who is reading these words right now is real, but so is the you who was learning to walk as a toddler. So is the you who will die someday. All of these versions of you exist simultaneously in the block universe. They are all equally real, all equally part of the structure, all equally you. And this means you're not just alive, you're also dead, because the moment of your death exists. It's part of your world line, part of the structure that is you. It's there, real, just as real as this moment feels to you right now.
This is disturbing. I know, it feels wrong, impossible. How can you be both alive and dead? How can both states exist simultaneously? The answer is that they don't exist simultaneously in time. They exist at different temporal locations, different points on your world line. Just as you can be in New York and Paris, not simultaneously, but at different spatial locations, you can be alive and dead, not simultaneously, but at different temporal locations. Both are part of your complete structure. Both are real. Both exist in space-time. And from the atemporal perspective, from outside time, looking at the complete four-dimensional structure, you're both. You're alive in some regions of your world line and dead in others, and all of it exists. All of it is real. All of it is you. This is what the block universe means. This is what relativity requires. This is what the mathematics tells us. You are not a being in time. You are a being of time. A four-dimensional structure, complete, unchanging, eternal, with all states, all moments, all versions of yourself existing simultaneously in the eternal now of space-time. Let me give you another way to think about this. Imagine a photo album of your life. Every page is a moment, a snapshot, and when you flip through the album, you experience the moments sequentially, one after another, creating the impression of a story, of progression, of change. But the album itself, all the photos exist together. The photo of you as a child doesn't disappear when you look at the photo of you as an adult. They're both there, both real, both part of the complete album. The block universe is like that album, except it's not photos, it's the actual moments, the actual experiences, all laid out, all existing. And consciousness is like flipping through the album, experiencing one page at a time, creating the illusion of flow, of movement, of only the current page being real. But the album is complete. All pages exist. You as a child exists. You as an adult exists. You dying exists. All of them, real, permanent, part of the structure. This is not metaphor. This is literal. This is what space-time is, and you are part of space-time. Therefore, you exist completely, all versions, all moments, all states, simultaneously, in the eternal structure.
Now let me address the obvious objection. Einstein, if I'm already dead, then why don't I feel dead? Why do I feel alive? Why does death feel like it's in the future, not the present? And the answer is consciousness. Your consciousness is at a particular location in space-time, experiencing a particular moment on your world line.
And from that perspective, from inside your subjective experience, you feel alive. You feel like death is in the future. But that's just your perspective, your temporal location. From a different perspective, from a different location in space-time, you might be dead, or not yet born. Different observers would have different answers to the question, is Einstein alive or dead right now, depending on their reference frame. And all answers would be equally valid, because right now is relative. There is no objective present in which to ask the question. So you're alive from your perspective, dead from another perspective, both from yet another perspective, and all of these are true, equally real, equally valid, because they're all descriptions of the same four-dimensional structure from different viewpoints. The structure itself contains all states, all moments, and that's what's real. The complete structure, not any particular slice through it, not any particular perspective, but the whole thing. And the whole thing includes you alive and you dead, both real, both existing, both part of what you are. Let me tell you about a letter I wrote. I mentioned this before, but it's worth repeating in this context. When my friend Michele Besso died, I wrote to his family, and I said, now he has departed from this strange world a little ahead of me. That means nothing. People like us who believe in physics know that the distinction between past, present, and future is only a stubbornly persistent illusion. This was not poetry, this was physics. Michele had died. From the perspective of his family, from their temporal location, he was gone, dead, no longer alive. But from the perspective of the block universe, from the atemporal view, he still existed. His entire world line existed. He was still there in all the moments of his life, still alive in those moments, still experiencing them, from inside those moments. He hadn't departed. He was still part of the structure, just in regions of space-time that his family could no longer access, could no longer share. But he existed completely, permanently in the block universe. And the same will be true for me and for you. When you die, when you reach the end of your world line, you don't cease to exist. You just stop experiencing new moments. Your world line is complete. No more points are added. But the points that exist, all the moments you lived, they remain forever, part of space-time, part of reality. You're not erased. You're just finished, complete, like a book that's been written. The story is done, but the book still exists, can still be read, still is what it is, forever.
Now let me tell you about something even stranger. If the block universe is real, if all moments exist simultaneously, then the question, are you alive or dead, doesn't have a simple answer, because you're both at different temporal locations. But here's what's truly bizarre. From certain perspectives, you might be both alive and dead at the same time, in the same now. How? Because of the relativity of simultaneity. Imagine an observer moving at tremendous speed relative to Earth. Their now, their present moment, their plane of simultaneity through space-time might slice through your world line at multiple points. One point where you're alive and another point where you're dead. From their perspective, both states are happening now. Both are part of their present. This seems impossible, contradictory. How can you be alive and dead in the same present? But it's only contradictory if you think of present as an objective thing, as a single moment that everyone shares. But it's not. Present is relative. Different observers have different presents, and some of those presents might include multiple states of the same person, alive and dead, young and old, here and gone, all in their now, all equally real from their perspective.
This is how strange relativity gets. This is how thoroughly it destroys our common sense understanding of time and existence. Let me ask you something now, because I need to know how you're processing this. Does the idea of the block universe comfort you or terrify you? Does it make death seem less final, or does it make life seem less meaningful? Does knowing that you're simultaneously alive and dead, that all versions of you exist eternally, change how you think about your choices, your mortality, your existence? Leave a comment below, share your reaction, because this is profound. This challenges everything, and different people react in radically different ways. Some find the block universe liberating, the idea that you're eternal, that you exist forever in spacetime, that nothing is ever truly lost. Others find it crushing, the idea that everything is fixed, determined, unchangeable, that your death already exists, that you can't escape it because it's already part of the structure. So, where do you fall? What's your intuition, your emotional response? Share it. Let's explore this together. Because even though the physics is clear, the implications are not, and we're all trying to figure out what it means to exist in a block universe, what it means to be a four-dimensional being, what it means to be alive and dead simultaneously.
Let me tell you about another implication. If you exist completely, if your entire world line is laid out in space-time, then you're not changing, you're not becoming, you just are. The feeling of change, of growing older, of moving from past to future, that's an illusion created by consciousness experiencing the structure sequentially. But the structure itself doesn't change, can't change, because change requires time, requires one moment giving way to another. But in the block universe, all moments exist together, timelessly. So there is no change, just the complete, static, eternal structure. You're not becoming an old person, you are an old person, and a young person, and a middle-aged person, all at once, all equally real, all part of the same four-dimensional entity. This is hard to grasp because it contradicts your experience so completely. You feel yourself changing, aging, moving through life, and in a sense you are. Your consciousness is experiencing different points on your world line, different moments, and from inside those moments, from the subjective perspective, you experience change. But objectively, from outside time, there is no change, just the complete structure, static, unchanging, eternal. And this raises a question about identity, about what makes you, you. If all moments of your life exist simultaneously, if you at age 10 and you at age 70 both exist right now, then which one is the real you? The answer is both and neither, because you're not any particular moment. You're the complete structure, the entire world line. That's what you are. And different moments of that world line have different properties, different memories, different physical forms, different experiences, but they're all part of the same structure, all part of you. You are not a snapshot, not a single moment. You are the film, the complete movie from beginning to end, and every frame is equally you, equally real, equally part of your identity. This is what it means to be a four-dimensional being. You're not confined to a single moment. You're spread across time, extended, complete. And that complete structure, from birth to death, that's you, the real you, the eternal you, the you that exists in the block universe forever.
Let me tell you about the most disturbing aspect of all this. If your death already exists, if it's already part of your world line, then it's inevitable, unchangeable. You cannot avoid it, cannot escape it, because it's already there, already real, already part of the structure. This seems to eliminate hope, to eliminate the possibility of cheating death, of living longer than expected, of somehow avoiding the inevitable. But here's the thing, you never had that possibility. Death was always inevitable, always certain. The block universe just makes this explicit, makes it undeniable. Your death exists right now in space-time at specific coordinates, and you're moving toward it, or rather, you're experiencing moments that are getting closer to it, moving along your world line toward its terminus, and there's nothing you can do to change this, because it's already part of the structure, fixed, real, permanent. This is harsh, I know, but it's true. And maybe there's liberation in accepting it, in facing the reality that death is not uncertain, not something that might happen, but something that has happened, is happening, will always be part of your world line, a permanent feature of who you are. But here's another perspective. If death is permanent, so is life. Every moment you're alive, every experience you have, that's also permanent, part of the eternal structure, can never be taken away, can never be erased. Your first kiss exists forever. Your greatest achievement exists forever. Every moment of joy, of love, of beauty, of meaning exists forever in the block universe as part of your world line, as part of you. This is a kind of immortality, not continued experience after death, but eternal existence of all your experiences. They're always there, always real, always part of the structure. Nothing is lost, nothing is gone. Everything that happened to you, everything you felt and thought and did, it's all preserved, eternally, in space-time. And that's meaningful. That matters, even if you're also dead, even if your death is also permanent. The life is permanent too. The experiences are permanent. The love is permanent. Everything, all of it, real forever. And maybe that's enough. Maybe that's all the immortality we need. Not continuation, but permanence. Not going on forever, but existing forever, as the structure we created, the world line we traced, the four-dimensional being we are.
Let me tell you what this means practically, for how you should live. If you are simultaneously alive and dead, if all moments of your existence are equally real and permanent, then every moment matters. Not just the current one, not just the future ones, but all of them, because they all exist eternally. So create good moments, meaningful moments, moments worthy of eternal existence, because they will exist eternally as part of your world line, as part of the structure that is you. And don't waste time regretting the past, because the past exists unchangeably as part of the structure. You can't modify it, can't erase it. It is what it is forever. So accept it, learn from it, but don't torture yourself wishing it were different, because it can't be different. It's part of the eternal structure, fixed, real, permanent. And focus on creating new moments, new experiences, new parts of your world line that are still unknown to you, still waiting to be experienced, even if from the atemporal perspective they already exist. From your perspective, inside time, they're still ahead, still possible, still yours to create. So create well, live well, be someone whose world line is beautiful, meaningful, true, because that world line is eternal, is you forever. Let me tell you one final thing about the block universe, about being alive and dead simultaneously. It changes how you should think about others, about people you love, about people you've lost. They exist completely in their world lines, from birth to death,
And even if they're dead now, even if you can no longer interact with them, they're still there, in all the moments of their lives, still experiencing those moments from inside those moments. Your grandmother, who died years ago, she still exists in all the moments you shared with her. Those moments are real, permanent, part of space-time. She's still there, holding you as a child, still there, telling you stories, still there, loving you, forever. You can't access those moments now, can't create new moments with her, but they exist, and they always will. This is comforting in a way, knowing that nothing is truly lost, that everyone who has ever lived still exists in their world lines, in the moments they experienced, all of it preserved eternally in the structure of space-time. We're all there, all of us, every person who has ever existed, our world lines all woven together, intersecting, creating the vast tapestry of human experience, all of it real, all of it permanent, all of it existing in the block universe, forever. And that's beautiful, in a strange way. Not the immortality we hoped for, but an immortality nonetheless. Not continuation, but permanence. And maybe that's enough. Maybe that's everything.